If you expect your tax rate in retirement to be lower than that of your current one, then the 401k makes sense for you. If you expect your tax rate in retirement to be higher than your current one, then the 401k makes sense for you. Okay, so you started your first day in a new job. Your HR tells you about the 401k. You go into your benefits page to click into them, and immediately you're faced with the question whether you want to choose a Roth 401k or a traditional 401k. Which one is better? What's the difference? Which one should I pick? Does the Roth or the traditional 401k helps me grow my wealth more in the future? By the end of this video, I'll help you answer all these questions and more. So let's dive right in.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Hi there, Kind Juju Base here. Been working in corporate America for a couple years now, and what I found is that not everyone knows their benefits, so I thought I helped out. Okay, here's what we're gonna cover in today's video. A primer on 401k accounts, the basic rules and motivation for saving in a 401k account. After that, we're gonna compare tax savings between the Roth 401k and the traditional 401k. Next, we'll answer the question, which type of 401k account allows you to grow your money more? And lastly, we'll draw some common general rule of thumbs to help you decide whether the Roth 401k or the traditional 401k makes sense for you. Alright, what the heck is a 401k? Quite simply, a 401k is an employer-sponsored retirement account that offers tax advantages. What are the tax advantages, you ask? When you invest your money in the stock market, there's a chance for your stock value to grow. This is called capital gains. On top of that, some of the stocks you own may pay you a dividend, so your total return is made up of capital gains and dividends. Now, if you keep your investment for a period of time, these returns, along with your original stock value, will be exposed to further possible growth, which in turn churns out more capital gains and dividends. If given a long enough time, this can snowball to a huge number. This is the power of compound interest. Okay, cool. If this investment is in a taxable account, the following two things occur. Your dividends are taxed. If you sell your stocks, the capital gains will be taxed too. On the flip side, in the tax advantage account, any capital gains from sale of stocks or dividends received are not taxed. The result is, in a taxable account, you will have less growth potential on your dollars. However, in a tax advantage account, since no tax occurs, your money is able to snowball to its largest potential. Okay, so now that we have seen the benefits of a tax advantage account like the 401k, you want to start investing in them. So let's dig into the 401k basics. Contributions. 401k contributions are deducted from your paycheck. For the traditional 401k, your contributions are not taxed. For the Roth 401k, however, your contributions are taxed. Contribution limits. $19,500 if you're age 50 and below, or $26,000 if you're age 50 and above. Okay? For growth, in both the Roth 401k and the traditional 401k, your money grows tax-free as long as the money is still in the 401k account. Alright, next, moving on to withdrawals. For traditional 401k, withdrawals in retirement are considered as income and will be taxed at whichever tax rate you are in at that time. For Roth 401k, your withdrawals will never be taxed. In most cases, you're not allowed to withdraw funds before the retirement age, and as of 2021, the retirement age is 59 and a half. Early withdrawals are discouraged as you get hit with a 10% penalty if you do. The case with the Roth 401k is a little bit hairy, so I might do another video next time covering early withdrawal scenarios. Alright, now that we know the basics, you might still ask, I still don't know which one to choose. Well, let's take a look at the two from a couple of perspectives. First, let's visualize how much tax you actually pay on $19,500 in both 401k flavors, whether it's tax during contribution in the Roth or tax during withdrawal in the traditional. For the first case, your retirement tax rate is equal to your pre-retirement tax rate, both 25% here. The amount of taxes you paid in both the 401k flavors are the same. What if your retirement tax rate is lower than that of your pre-retirement? This time, we pay less taxes in the traditional 401k. Finally, what if your tax rate in retirement is higher than that of your pre-retirement? This time, we pay less taxes in the Roth 401k. Okay, now keeping this trend in mind, next, let's answer the question, which 401k flavor can allow you to grow your savings more? Let's look at the future value of the following three cases for three different tax scenarios. Case 1, traditional 401k account with the final value tax. To keep things simple, I will just simulate the whole amount getting taxed. Realistically, it's not like this. You only get taxed on the amount you withdraw each year in retirement. But just play along with me for now as I try to illustrate this point. Case 2, traditional 401k account, but this time you invest the tax savings in a taxable brokerage account. And case 3, a Roth 401k account. In all three cases, we will assume the following numbers. Yearly 401k contribution is $19,500. Annual return on investment is 7%. The time of investment is 40 years. For the second case where you further invested your traditional 401k tax savings in a taxable brokerage account, let's assume you invested them in the same fund as your traditional 401k investment. For the growth rate of this taxable account to simulate your dividends getting taxed, let's assume a simple return number that is slightly smaller than your 401k investment, so 6% let's say. And furthermore, let's assume capital gains tax rate is 15%. Okay, now let's look at the three different tax scenarios. The first case, your pre-retirement and retirement tax rate are the same, 22% in this example. Here's how much your money will grow into. Here we see the Roth 401k is the winner. For the second case, your pre-retirement tax rate is higher than that of your retirement. In this case, pre-retirement is 22% while the retirement tax rate is 12%. The winner this time is the traditional 401k with tax savings invested in a taxable account. And lastly, your tax rate in pre-retirement is less than that in retirement, the former being 22% while the latter being 32% in this case. This time, the winner is the Roth 401k again. Side note, these graphs were obtained from Excel Magic. Okay, what can we learn from the above two thought exercises? Whether the Roth 401k or the traditional 401k makes sense for you depends on your pre-retirement and retirement tax rate. If you expect your tax rate in retirement to be lower than that of your current one, then the traditional 401k makes sense for you. On the flip side, if you expect your tax rate in retirement to be higher than your current one, then the Roth 401k makes sense for you. There are two factors that come into play when you think about tax rates in the US. Number one, income bracket. The US applies taxes differently based on which income bracket you're in. As of 2021, the US imposes a 37% tax rate on the highest income bracket. However, for the lowest income bracket, it's only 10%. The more likely scenario for most of us in retirement is that since we don't get a paycheck anymore from an employer, we will most likely be in a lower income bracket in retirement than when we were during our working days. 2. Purely based on how US wants to change its tax rate in the future. Now this is an unknown. No one knows how much the government will want to tax you in 30 years' time. There could come a time when even the lowest tax bracket is taxed at a higher rate than what you're currently being taxed. Let's hope Uncle Sam is on top of things so that he doesn't have to tax us more in the future for any poor planning or oversight. Here's a graph that shows the tax rates of the highest income and the lowest income in the US from 1910 to 2018. From here, we can clearly see tax rates fluctuate throughout history when different events occur. So, there's a chance that your tax rate might go up or go down in the future. And lastly, if you choose a traditional 401k route and you don't put your tax savings to good use, i.e. investing it, in all the three tax cases we saw, your future value will be less than if you would have invested them in your Roth 401k. So just keep this in mind. And with that, hopefully this video helped you understand the differences between the Roth and the traditional 401k, and hopefully by now you can somewhat figure out whether the Roth 401k or the traditional 401k makes sense to you. If this is your first time working and you're still unsure whether to choose the Roth or the traditional 401k, heck, just pick one for now. It will still do you more good than if you had not invested in the 401k. Give yourself some time to slowly make sense of the differences and the reasonings, and then you can go back anytime to your retirement savings provider and make the change there. Okay? Hey, if you find this video helpful, consider liking, subscribing, maybe drop a comment or say hi. Okay? They'll mean a lot to me. Thank you very much. Okay, till next time, Bye bye.